going on, guys? Well, it is 3:10 a.m. 3:10 in the morning. It's Friday morning after Thanksgiving. I had a pretty good Thanksgiving. Stayed here by myself, my dogs. Taking a break off from work. So, I got my little dog next to me. That's Gracie. And I got Hershey. And I got my other one. She's a pill. She's right behind me. Her name's Zoe. You'll see her in a minute. Zoe. Sit down. See? And like Scarab Performance, I think is his last name. I'll just call him Scarab. His dog wasn't answering. It was too comfy. It was sleeping pretty daggone good. Mine will answer me. Just picking on you, Scarab. I know you love your dog. I wanted to make this video documentary, recording, whatever, because I got some important information. And I just got done watching a documentary on fasting off of Amazon Prime. At first I wasn't going to watch it. But you know what? Something got my curiosity. Like most things, if it's godly, it gets my curiosity. So I clicked on it, watched it, and I'll be dang, it was an eye-opener. Now, you know how when you all get sick, you don't feel like eating anything? You'll drink stuff. Usually it's water. Stuff to keep you hydrated. I mean, your parents tell you at least drink something because you got to keep yourself hydrated. Well, what if I told you that was your body's natural reaction to kill whatever's in your system? That's called fasting. I didn't know that. It just dawned on me that's what it meant. But this documentary goes on fasting. A lot of these other cultures are using fasting instead of medicines to cure diseases. Even cancer. They say if you starve your body 5 days before taking chemotherapy, that with chemotherapy will kill cancer quicker. And on top of that, the chemotherapy will not kill your good cells. That's your your good cells you need. That's what keeps you alive. So if you fast 5 days before taking chemotherapy, the chemotherapy won't kill you. Because they've noticed within 3 days, and if you know anything about the Bible, it talks about Jesus fasted when the devil tempted him. He went into fasting for 40 days. And that's the most that you can actually fast for, is up to 40 days. That's all doctors want you to fast for, at least from this little documentary I watched. And I found it ironic that Jesus fasted from the devil tempting him up to 40 days. That's weird, ain't it? Kind of. It's a bit coinky-dinky. But I think people should know about this because I'm not saying, I'm not a doctor. I don't have a degree in doctor or anything like that. But there are people that are doing this. Not in America. But over in the United Kingdom and, what was the other country? Maybe Russia or Germany? I think. Might have been Russia. I don't remember. You can find it on Amazon Prime, though. It's called Fasting. I can't remember what network. under Amazon. Like, they got Gaia and Gaia, or however you pronounce it, and others that do documentaries. Just look up fasting. It's got like a picture of glasses of water as the picture of the video to watch. It wasn't that long. It was probably an hour and something minutes. But it kind of makes you wonder. I mean, back to where I was getting at, though, about the documentary, it was telling me that after 3 days of fasting, no food, you can drink water, but no food, your cells go into a protection mode. Because your cells were already from your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents was already trained to go into protection mode after 3 days of not eating anything. It starts to live off of your glucose levels, your protein, and your fatty acids, or whatever you want to call them. Those are the three key elements that your body will strive off of to support your body. The glucose is the first thing that it's going to use. When it uses all that up, then it starts on the proteins and the fatty acids, or the fatty tissue. Once the protein molecules are all gone, then it starts to strive off your fatty tissue. And after the fatty, then that's when your body's going to tell you need to eat. But throughout all of those three, you should be able to last 40 days. That's the max. That's the extreme. And I'm sure that goes a lot on like body weight, like how much you weigh. I'm sure that has a lot to play in on how long you can fast for. But it makes sense, because when I get sick, like really sick, like once I had strep throat, I didn't feel like eating anything. And I'll tell you what, strep throat, oh my gosh, I didn't eat nothing for, I bet it was right around 2 days. I didn't eat nothing. I just drank when I could. It hurt to swallow. But I think I broke my strep throat around that third day. After the third day, I was all right. I was able to start eating my solids and stuff and get food back down me. Man, I don't ever want strep again. It hurt so bad. Every time you take a swallow, it felt like you were swallowing a bunch of needles or tacks. Just, right back here. It hurt every swallow. And I knew it. Once your body builds, your mouth builds up saliva, and you got to swallow it. And you know it's going to hurt. So there for a while, I carried when I had strep throat, like a cup or a bucket, and I spit in it because I knew it was going to hurt to swallow. Mouth got dried, but I usually just gargled some water or salt water even. That kind of soothed it. But anyways, they say it'll kill cancer. And right now, cancer in the Western society is everywhere. And that's what they were saying. They said that it'll cure, like when you fast, it can cure high blood pressure, low blood pressure, whatever. It can cure cholesterol levels. It can cure diabetes. It can cure, I don't know, everything. You name it, it can cure. I mean, in this video, they showed all kinds of stuff. They did, like, of course, lab rat results. And they said it had to do with chemotherapy. They gave these rats chemotherapy, the ones that ate well, and then the ones that was on fasting. And the ones that end up fasting are the ones that lived through the chemotherapy session that had cancer. These rats had cancer, or mice, whatever. They were mice. They all had cancer, and some were fed well, and then the others were fasting. And with the chemotherapy, those are the mice that lived while fasting. The other ones were given chemotherapy that were eating well. They all died because their cells weren't put into protection mode. And they've shown that penguins, the males, they usually have to stay behind and lay on the eggs until the females get back from hunting. They can last up to 40 days too of no eating until the females get back with food. But after 40 days, they gotta eat. So they're finding out animals can even fast. They've got that in them. So this is something that in the Western end doctors, some doctors, not all doctors, probably your older doctors are going to know a little about. The new doctors, though, of course, they're going to teach them nothing about medicine because pharmaceutical companies are going to want to make money off of this stuff to cure the cancer, or at least to hold it off long enough for them to make some money off you. I know it's sad. But what if starving your body is the only solution to any viral infection, any bacterial infection? It makes sense. I mean, with this documentary, they said the cancer cells, once they're in your body, they was wondering if you start fasting, if that was going to cause them to fast. But it don't, because that was not, cancer is not, they say cancer cells are in your body to begin with all the time. But that's not true, because if that was true, fasting would mean that the cancer cells would regain memory from your regular cells about this fasting issue, and they would go into protection mode, but they don't. It's been proven, at least from this video, that cancer cells don't go into protection mode. They don't know nothing about it. So even after 3 days of fasting, they already start to get weak and they start dying off. But with chemo, it kills it quicker. But it won't kill your good cells because they're already in protection mode after 3 days. But they say this one woman, she went in 5 days of fasting before she took her chemo sessions and killed the cancer. And then after it, I don't remember it saying how long she went into fasting. Don't say how long she went into fasting, but I was trying to remember. I don't even think it told you. But she went through sessions of chemo and she lived. She survived it. Cancer-free. Live her life. Be able to watch her children grow and live life. But did you know in the Bible it talks about, you should fast once a year on Nolatoma or something like that day? I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But once a year you should fast. And what that does is that rids your body of any kind of viral or bacterial infections, any sickness. Kind of like a reset every year on your body. But I just thought this might be something of an importance to somebody out there that might be looking for this. I know if I ever come down with cancer or any kind of deadly disease, you can bet your butt, your bottom dollar, before I go to a doctor, I'm going to try this myself. And really, you should be under a doctor's watch when you do this, because they say it's hard on the mind. You'll get headaches. You'll start getting fatigue, weakness. But usually that's within the first 3 days. After 3 days, and it starts getting better. Your brain starts sending out signals to regain your energy and detoxifying itself, and it starts giving you energy, and you're wanting to do stuff. But those first 3 days it's hard, from what this video said. So if you got any loved ones, talk about it with them. I mean, at least bring it to their attention that it's something to try. If they want to live, if they're still young. I mean, elderly people, I could kind of see they live their life. They're ready to go and whatnot. But heck, I'm 34 years old. I've still got a whole life ahead of me. And, you know, I almost once died. Not from cancer, but I had an ulcer in my stomach. Didn't know what one was. Figured I had one. But from what my doctor was telling me, and it made sense, think of like a basketball. Okay? With a hole in the top of it. And all your food that you put down your throat goes into that basketball, and that's your stomach. Well, any acids and stuff, they eat that food up and dissolve it, and then your cells from your body go to your stomach wall of the basketball and get the nutrients it needs and carries it through your system. Same thing with your lungs. That's how your lungs work. Your cells go to your lungs, carry the oxygen to the rest of your body. Well, when you pollute your lungs and get that tar and stuff from like cigarette smoke and stuff, it makes it hard for your cells to get the oxygen it needs, and that's why it suffocates. It starts to, you tire out easily and stuff, trying to run and stuff, because your lungs they have that stuff in it, that tar, that substance, that dirt. So your cells can't get what it needs for fresh oxygen for your body to live. And that's why smokers have a hard time breathing. Usually y'all get asthma, maybe. Not all the time. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but it makes sense. But anyways, I'm getting off subject. But anyways, this basketball, let's say you get a hole, like let's just say a little sore on the inside of that stomach liner, okay? That's the beginning of an ulcer. And it just keeps eating away, eating away. Next thing you know, in that stomach liner, which ain't very thick at all, by the way, eats all the way through it. Well, then it's going to start bleeding, because you got blood vessels rolling through your stomach liner, because it's eating through that blood. Then blood vessels are exposed. So then your stomach starts bleeding on the inside. Well, then it'll start bleeding and bleeding. Well, then that blood starts to pass through your bowel movements, because your body's got to get rid of it somehow. And that's when you, like I did, go to the bathroom and you diarrhea, nothing but black. It's dark black and green, or some green in with it. And what that is, that's bile mixed with blood. I didn't know that. But I knew something was wrong, because that's never happened before. And I got real dizzy after I cleaned up and stuff, washed my hands. Like, it took everything I had to be able to wash my hands, to stand up. Like, I had hardly any blood in my system. Heart was beating really fast. And I took like 5-6 steps that I can remember, and collapsed in my hallway and passed out. Hours later, I woke up wondering how I got there, and drugged myself to my bedroom. And even then, it took everything I had. And I just lay down in bed, and it's almost like I was drunk. Just ceiling was spinning. I got dizzy, and I just passed out. I went to sleep. That next morning, I woke up, told my ex, at the time wasn't my ex, but now it's my ex. So I need to go to the hospital, I think there's something wrong with me. She's like, well, why? What's wrong, I said, well, I think I'm bleeding inside, and I don't know why. Well, come to find out, that's what I had. I had an ulcer. So if you all have any problem with your stomach, thinking that you might have an ulcer, starts out with I still think I got some ulcers. They're not real bad though. apparently. If you got like acid reflux real bad, or you eat something and you don't chew your food enough, get a lot of air trapped into it, you swallow it, well then you get like this pressure right here in your between your throat and your chest. And it's just a pain, and you got to stop eating. You got to push your food to the side, and you just got to try to belch and burp, because you know when you burp, it's going to feel better. But usually when you burp, it starts to want to come back up, your food and all, with the air. And that's a constant thing with me. Like if I eat too fast, especially, I got to make sure I don't eat too fast. It'll cause that. I usually take some medicine on a daily basis to help it. It keeps that from happening. But, yeah, this was actually stretched out. Usually it is stretched out with me. But look into it. It's on Amazon Prime, fasting. If y'all have any, like, terminal illnesses or anything like that, try it. I'm not saying go straight out on it. Fast for about 3 days. Eat some soup or something. Nothing real heavy. And then fast a little bit more. Get your body used to it. And do this all on your own, I don't know the word for it. I just don't want to be held responsible for saying go out and do it. I'm just saying that the Bible talks about it. And some doctors in other countries, not in the Western United States, they're doing it. And they've gotten a lot of high results from it. Good results. I mean, praise God. It's His gift to you if you listen to Him and you try it. He will reward you. It's hard, but try it. If you think it's something that you all other options you've tried, nothing's helping, this is your last resort, go for it. Until then, God bless y'all. I love you. And I don't know what else to say. Good night. Bye.